Peace and love, my folks. Peace and love. We back with more tracks. You already know what time it is. We got more Tiffany news. It looks like they have caught her. Let me see what it say. Bombshell allegations against Tiffany Henyard and Andrew Holmes. I'm like, who's Andrew Holmes? And he clearly done got in trouble. He done got mentioned with her. You feel me? So let's look into that. We're gonna see what they talking about and go from there.
Us tonight, I'm Scott Schneider.
And I'm Dawn Hasbrook. More controversy in Dolton. This time, it involves a well-known activist.
Tonight, our Dane Placco off the top with the bombshell details in a brand new lawsuit.
Andrew Holmes has been a familiar face in Chicago for years, well known for his work as a community activist helping crime victims and police. But now Holmes is being accused of a crime himself, sexual assault, in a civil lawsuit filed by a former employee of the village of Dolton and a Dolton police officer. In addition to his work as a community activist, Holmes serves as a trustee for the village of Dolton. The civil lawsuit against the village of Dolton, Thornton Township, Tiffany Henyard, and Holmes himself alleges that Holmes sexually assaulted a Dolton village employee, who we're not naming because of the nature of the alleged crime, while on a village business trip to Las Vegas in May of 2023.
According to the lawsuit,
Hold on. Y'all heard that? So allegedly, the act happened in the Vegas trip, the alleged Vegas, like, you remember the Vegas trip where she was, you know what I mean? Like, so that's interesting. Like, so they was out on there partying, you know what I mean? Like, that's wild. Nah, that's rough. I hate that business.
Drinks with Holmes, whom she thought of as an uncle, began to feel disoriented, then passed out in Holmes' hotel room. The lawsuit alleges Holmes then called Dolton police officer Byron Miles, who was on the trip as part of Mayor Tiffany Henyard's security detail. According to the lawsuit, quote, Holmes began describing a host of his exploits from the trip, many of a sexual nature, to Officer Miles. At some point during his rant, Trustee Holmes made reference to him engaging in sexual activities with a Dolton Thornton employee, and there was some suggestion that the employee may not have had the ability to consent and or did not provide consent. The lawsuit says Officer Miles then began recording the phone call and FaceTimed Holmes. Trustee Holmes then panned the camera toward the bed where Officer Miles could see a woman who was partially undressed. The trustee then moved the camera to various private areas of the woman's body, displaying them on screen, and at times moving or removing articles of clothing as he transmitted the images.
Bruh. As they would say, that's damning evidence right there for sure. Like, my goodness, like, my God, like, oh my God, like, I know he is absolutely sad that, like, the homie he thought was his homie, like, is, you know what I mean? Like, oh my goodness, because he was very comfortable with that guy. And, like, that's what you get. You out here wilding there. And he probably was married. I don't know if he married or not, but that's bad, you feel me? The fact that he trying to, you know what I mean? Like, she may or may not have consented. That's terrible. You get what I mean? And even if she did consent, it all goes back to the power situation, I think. Because he has that notoriety in that area, then, you know, like, a person would consent. You get what I mean? Like, so it's like, I don't even know if he won't in that position, would he even be having them buns? You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? You're picking up what I'm putting down. But yeah, that's wild though. That's terrible news. Like, but let's hear how it finishes out.
The lawsuit alleges when the woman woke up, she couldn't remember anything that happened the night before and was not aware of the alleged assault until informed by Officer Miles when they returned to Dolton. Quoting the lawsuit, at some point during that time, Trustee Holmes was in communication with Officer Miles, and again Trustee Holmes made reference to his exploits in Las Vegas. Trustee Holmes further advised Officer Miles at that time that he had unprotected sex with the female employee while in Las Vegas. The lawsuit alleges that when the officer told the woman what happened, she requested to speak to Mayor Henyard, who was allegedly concerned it could hurt her politically. The lawsuit says Henyard then advised the employee that if the information got out, Henyard would be ruined and all of the work she had done would be lost. Despite assurances that Henyard and then Henyard's boyfriend would handle the situation, the lawsuit alleges the female employee was eventually fired by the village of Dolton. Officer Miles still works for Dolton, but alleges his duties were diminished and he faced retaliation at work.
That's how we're gonna give him there. My goodness. Like Beehive would say, my God. You know what I mean? Like, what in the world? Like, that's a lot. Like, that's terrible. And that dude that was mean to Tyrant Terminator, he was up there sitting beside her. Makes sense. It makes sense. Of course, he's a close member. You know what I mean? Like, of course. I wonder if that's the guy that's considered her boyfriend, because that's who they showed when he said that. You know what I mean? I don't know for sure. All of this is alleged. You know what I mean? I'm just reporting what I see, ladies and gentlemen. But that's wild. Like, that's a lot. Like, I feel like only time with is gonna clean these streets up for sure. Like, and I think she probably, if she's smart, she probably distanced herself from that gentleman. Like, if nothing else, you know what I mean? Like she said, it's definitely gonna tarnish that reputation. Like, unless she gonna just ride it off, like just let the whole ship go down. You know what I mean? Which is going down regardless. Allegedly, it seems like, but who knows? But hey, I'm just a guy on the road. Peace and love, my folks. Until next time.